Hello, Realtors, and welcome to a very special edition of the SCR Update. This is episode 392. It's May the 5th, and today we have all the information you need about RPAC as we enter the busy election season here in South Carolina. As always, I'm your host, Nick Cremitis, CEO of South Carolina Realtors. June is fast approaching, which means one very important thing. It's primary election time. And if you follow Palmetto State politics, you know that the vast majority of our elections are actually decided in the June primaries. There are only a handful of really truly contested general elections in November. And because of that, the time to get involved and support the right candidates isn't in the fall, it's today. It's now for the primaries. Your local associations across the state, including SCR, have been screening candidates for local, state house, and congressional elections. We'll be releasing a voter guide soon, not to tell you how to vote, but to inform you on where candidates stand on real estate issues, those issues that are important to us: home ownership, private property rights, investing in real estate. And to help us navigate this and to talk about the lifeblood of our advocacy efforts, I've brought in a titan of South Carolina real estate. Now, he's a past president of SCR. He served as the RPAC disbursement chair at the national level for NAR, and he's a staple of the Charleston real estate community. David Kent. David, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Nick, for having me here. It's always an honor to be here and talk about something as important as advocacy. I'm glad you let me in the building wearing my orange.
Well, I'm going to have to talk to security about that, David. I'm not sure how you got through. But for our listeners who don't know, David is a diehard Clemson Tiger, and you all know that I'm a proud Carolina Gamecock. So we're basically sitting across from each other right now, kind of like the Hatfields and McCoys, as we talk about politics.
Look, Nick, I understand it's tough. It builds character to root for the Gamecocks. Out in Death Valley, we're little more than used to winning home games and bringing home the hardware, like SCR RPAC. The trophy behind us is what we win. But today we're on the same team. The Realtor Party doesn't care if you wear orange or garnet.
That is the absolute truth, David, even if it hurts a little to admit. When the legislature goes into session in Columbia or when Congress gavels up in D.C., the threats to our industry don't care where your alumni allegiance lies. And that brings us to our topic today, RPAC, the Realtors Political Action Committee. Let's set the table for our members, David, that are listening that might be newer to the business. Let's explain to them what exactly RPAC is and why should they care.
Think about it like a booster club for your livelihood. You and I know that college football doesn't win championship just because they practice hard. They win because they have the resources, the facilities, and the backing of strong organizations like IPTAY or the Gamecock Club. RPAC is our IPTAY. It is a voluntary, non-partisan organization that pulls the resources of realtors to support candidates who understand and protect real estate, private property rights, and home ownership.
Yeah, David, you used the word nonpartisan, and I want to kind of double click on that because we live in a hyper polarized world. You know, when a realtor member sees that $25 voluntary contribution on their dues billing, the first thing that they think is, I don't want my money going to Democrats, or I don't want my money going to Republicans. You served as chair of the National Association's RPAC Disbursement Committee. You literally helped write checks to congressmen and women all across the country. How does that process actually work?
That's the most common misconception we face. My job as disbursement chair wasn't to look at the letter R or D next to the candidate's name. We evaluate the candidate based strictly on their voting records, on our core issues. Do they support keeping mortgage interest deductions? Do they vote to keep 1031 tax exchanges? Do they support keeping independent contractor status for real estate agents?
Well, independent contractor status is how most of our members do their business.
Exactly. If a candidate aligns with us on those issues, we back them, period. We have supported conservative Republicans and liberal Democrats, often in the same election cycle. And that's what makes RPAC so powerful. Politicians know we're not tied to a party platform. We're tied to the protection of American dream. Reward champions of homeownership, regardless of what side of the aisle they sit on.
So David, let's bring this down to the local level. I know you're based in Charleston, and the Charleston Trident Association of Realtors has been incredibly active, from infrastructure to flood insurance to attainable housing. The Lowcountry is on the front lines of many of our legislative battles. How does a strong RPAC directly impact a realtor who's working maybe in Mount Pleasant or Somerville?
Charleston is a perfect microcosm of why advocacy matters. We live in a highly desirable coastal market. That means we face heavy regulations. Without CTAR and RPAC, local towns and council could easily pass ordinance requiring massive impact fees on new construction or stringent short-term rental bans that wipe out equity for homeowners.
That's right, and realtors, those aren't just abstract concepts. Those local decisions can kill your next real estate deal.
They kill deals, they kill inventory, and they price first-time home buyers right out of the market. RPAC allows us to fund the research, the polling, the mobilization of our members to show up at those city council meetings armed with economic facts. We just don't show up and complain. We show up with data to prove how bad a policy will hurt the local economy.
David, I always tell our members that the stroke of a pen in Columbia or at a local town council can eliminate your commission check faster than a bad inspection. You have a phrase you use all the time when talking to members about why they need to be involved in this process.
I do, and it's absolutely the golden rule of politics. If realtors are not at the table, they will be on the menu.
Now, David, say that one more time, just a little slower for all the Clemson fans out there.
If realtors are not at the table, they will be on the menu. Lawmakers have to balance budgets. They have to find revenue. If we're not sitting at the table explaining why a real estate moratorium is a terrible idea for economic growth, they will look at real estate as an easy piggy bank to raid. We have to be the ones to educate them.
So, realtors, we're looking at a big election cycle. We always say, you always hear this is the most important election in our lifetime. Every election is critically important. We're looking at changes in the industry, changes in local zoning, insurance challenges, the list goes on. David, what is your direct pitch to the realtor who's listening right now that has never invested in RPAC?
My pitch is that your business is worth protecting. You pay for your MLS fees, you pay for your lockbox, you pay for their marketing. RPAC is the best business insurance you can buy for your career. Whether it's $25 fair share or stepping up to a major investor, every single dollar is an investment in your own future. If you want to keep running your business as an independent contractor, if you want your clients to be able to afford to buy a home in South Carolina, you have to get off the sideline.
David, I couldn't agree more. And look, I'm willing to make a wager right here on our podcast. Now, if SCR hits our NAR President's Cup goal, which means we'll get another one of these beautiful trophies from NAR. Now, I know the Gamecocks don't have many of these. We did win national championship in equestrian sports just a couple weeks ago.
Awesome.
If SCR hits our President's Cup goal by the fall conference, I will publicly wear a Clemson tie to the annual board of directors meeting.
Hey, Tyler, we got this on tape. You know what? If CTAR hits the local NAR fundraising goals by the end of the year, I will publicly wear a Gamecock tie in the heart of Charleston. It might make me physically ill, but I'll do it for the Realtor Party.
Now that is true sacrifice. I love it. David Kent, thank you so much for joining us, for your leadership at SCR and NAR, and for the friendly wager. I'll keep tabs on this and I'll report back to you by the end of the year. But thank you for everything you do to keep realtors at the table.
My pleasure, Nick, and go Tigers.
Go Gamecocks. And to all our realtors out there listening, thank you again for tuning in. Make sure you are registered to vote. Every vote makes a difference, realtors. Stay safe, stay realtor strong, and we'll see you again next time.